Hi, everybody.
We're back.
We're back. Welcome to depression-youarenot-alone.com. Again, this is the lovely and talented Shannon, and the grumpy and talented John is behind the scene. You going to say hello?
No.
He won't ever say hello, so we're gonna one day we'll get him to. Maybe.
And my name is Lou.
Yeah, get me a few beers.
Right. Okay, we're not going to do that.
Well, no hellos.
God, everybody always wants something.
They do.
Something. You too.
Hey,
Yeah.
not everything is free.
And my name is Lou, of course. So, I just want to start with what a great week I had this past week, huh? Here we are laying in bed watching the Paralympics. I mean, remember when I said sometimes things happen for a reason?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sometimes things happen randomly, sometimes they happen for a reason. So here we are laying in bed watching the Paralympics. Oh, and by the way, if you want to tell these people, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that because you're handicapped. No, they're showing you they can do
They can.
If I jumped in the pool and raced them, by the time I got to the wall, they would have gotten out of the pool, showered, gotten on a plane, and they'd be home eating dinner with their families in whatever country they came from.
It was amazing.
I'd be hitting the wall, say, hey, why are the lights off? Where'd everybody go? They were amazing.
Yeah.
So here I am watching these folks, these athletes,
Yeah.
just totally impressed by them. And I figure, all right, let me get up and go get a snack. As soon as I went to get up in bed, my back locks up and I let out a scream.
You let out a scream.
Getting out of bed.
Yeah.
I injured myself getting out of bed.
It's because, well, we're old.
Okay,
That also has something to do with it. I woke up with vertigo. That was a lot of fun.
So I've been sleeping the past few days in increments of 10 minutes at a time. Because every time I roll over, Yesterday I felt better. This morning I felt worse.
Yeah.
So that was our week. But it just I find it so amusing that I'm admiring these folks, these athletes, and I blow my back getting out of bed.
Yeah.
So maybe, I want to thank them too for reminding me how out of shape I've gotten since this pandemic.
Yeah, I'm out of shape too.
So, I think you're in really good shape.
I don't know about that.
Kind of hot. All right, or you're pH fat, like the kids
pH
say.
fat.
Do the kids still say that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Who knows?
I don't know.
I try to stay away from kids.
I mean, hey, you're not a 16-year-old going up to a 50 or 60-year-old. Hey, you're fat. Excuse me?
Well, you're ugly and you're stupid.
No,
and I can diet.
the pH fat.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what that means. How does that? What's pH? So anyway, last week, I want to go back to last week's episode a bit.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, I talked about. I had to vent a little bit about. There's some politics there, masks and people dying, and we discussed that. You can go back and look at that. I'm not going to do that today. But, thank you for being patient and allowing me to vent, but I know a lot of you agreed with a lot of things that I said. Now, I was talking about panic attacks, and I had told you that I have my medication, I still have it, that I had my first panic attack, my daughter's birthday party when she was a little girl. She's now a grown woman. So it was many years ago. And I had medication, which I still have, I still take. Wait, you're looking at me weird. What's
No, I'm not. I'm
Is my hair out of place or something? What? I'm sorry, man. Like I said, I've been sleeping in like 10-minute increments. I mean, and you sleep 10 minutes, you look at the clock, and when you wake up, it's like, all right, it's been 10 minutes since I went to really do that,
God.
50 times a day for several days in a row.
Yeah.
So the panic attacks, I told you that I still have my medication, and I break it in half. And that way I have more pills. Mm-hmm. Now, some of you might be saying, okay, but if you take 2 halves, it's the same as taking 1 pill, so you're not gaining anything, right?
Right, yeah.
You get that, right?
I get it.
I don't know how our education system worked for you, so I just wanted to make sure that we're on, that we know what we're talking about here. The reason I say I have more pills is this. I learned that a half of a pill is enough to control my panic attack.
Yeah.
So, with the pills I take, as I mentioned too, when I would take a pill having a panic attack, I'd be wiped out, hungover and wiped out. So when I learned that half a pill works, why am I going to take the full pill? Less of a hangover, still does the job. Because I really am not a person that likes to pop pills.
Yeah.
It's just something I don't like to do it.
Well, actually, you fought through it. What was it, yesterday or the day before? You had a panic attack and you were going to go take half, and then you fought through it and you didn't do it.
Yeah, I didn't really have a panic attack. I mean,
A little anxiety.
It's the difference with, you feel that anxiety coming, which could end up becoming a panic attack.
Yeah.
Or you just have that anxiety. But what works for me, and whether it's depression, whether it's anxiety, is distracting my mind.
Yeah.
Like I said, I would sometimes, I'm feeling fine, and I'm thinking, boy, what if I had a panic attack right now?
And then you start.
And wouldn't you know it, 5 minutes later, I have a panic attack that I wasn't even, I wasn't even going through. I remember being in the mall, and a lot of people around, and I'm like, because what I also did for many years, I actually stopped doing it several years ago. I would have in a tissue.
Yeah. You would carry
my
around.
pill. I'd carry it around with me at all times.
Just in case.
And it seems like whenever I had it, I was okay. If I ever forgot it, where I'm like, oh, I forgot
Then
it.
you get panicky. Yeah.
Uh-oh. And I always would try to tell myself, okay, if you had it on you, you're not going to have a panic attack. But since you realize you don't have it, now you're going to have a panic attack. Oh, come on. Yeah, no, I'm frustrated with myself. Come on, man, what are you doing?
It's a security thing. Yes. Yeah, you feel safe when it's just in case.
That crutch, right?
Yeah.
And I'd have them in my car too, wrapped in a tissue.
Yeah.
So I remember being at the mall. I didn't have my pill on me, and I started to think, oh, wow, I don't have it.
Yeah.
All right. But, I'm just sitting here having a good time, and I start to think, well, what if I have a panic attack in here right now? I'm not home. I don't have a pill. It's going to take me 15 minutes to get home. And I had a panic attack.
Yeah.
So it's just a vicious cycle. So to me, what works is distracting the mind. Doing something, focusing on something else instead of focusing on, am I going to get a panic attack? Am I going to get a panic attack? Because I already knew the answer. Yeah, if you're going to sit there asking yourself if you're going to get a panic attack, you're going to get a panic attack.
Yeah.
It's just going to happen. It's ridiculous, but I'm causing it myself. So many times, I would go to my doctor, my psychiatrist, and he's got the script ready to give me the refill for my medication, and I would tell him, nope, I don't need it. I told him I break them in half. I only take half.
They last you a long time.
As a last resort. And sometimes you have to. I still have to sometimes. But not like when I first started having panic attacks where I was taking them on a regular basis. Like I said, I'd gone into the hospital several times, and the feeling is just absolutely horrible. And for me too, it seems like when I would be like really tired and exhausted, it was worse.
Yeah.
Easier, more susceptible to getting them when I was exhausted. If I was having a good time out doing things, distracted, I had less chance. I played ball for so many years. I did so many things, and I think when things got worse for me, though, with depression and anxiety and panic attacks, I used to work all week, and I used to play basketball several times a week. I was actually a good basketball player.
I know you were.
I can slam dunk. Not like these guys in the NBA. You got people hanging on you and they can still dunk the ball. If I went to dunk the ball and somebody sneezed, I probably wouldn't be able to do it because it would throw me off. But I ended up blowing my knee.
Yeah.
So here's something that I had as a distraction, playing ball, which was awesome. I mean, go to the ballpark, pick up a game. If you win, you hold court. I played 2-3 basketball games sometimes in a row. I blew my ACL and my meniscus. 2 knee surgeries. That was taken away from me. That started to cause depression because I couldn't
Move around. And, yeah.
I lost a distraction that worked for me. Something that distracted my mind. Exercise, which is really good for you, by the way, folks. Exercise is really, really a good thing too for depression. Instead of laying around feeling miserable, a walk, a jog, a bike ride.
Yeah.
Bike ride, swimming. It's such a positive thing to do. I'm upset with myself. I'm upset with myself so many times for not doing those things. I mean, I'm telling you to do it, and I know I've got to do it, and I am. I'm continue to lose weight.
Yeah, you're doing real good. Look at that. Now you are. You're down like 11 pounds now.
Well,
12?
I didn't weigh myself today, but
Yeah.
I'm not going to weigh.
That's helping though.
No.
What?
No. What were you going to say?
No, I
Hopefully a
said.
compliment.
I am giving you a compliment. That's quite an achievement to lose the weight. We're cutting out the carbs.
Yeah, that
the sweets.
and the sweets. God, I miss the sweets.
Yeah, well, I give you one here and there. A little peppermint patty.
But I haven't weighed myself. But when I am, before I weigh myself, I'm going to shave really, really close.
Because that's going to make a big
I
difference.
may even shave my legs because I want that number down as low as possible.
Oh, you're not a swimmer.
Yeah, well, I just want that number down as low as possible.
God.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, movement, exercise, distraction. Distracting the mind has always worked for me. The times I didn't, when I would just sit there or lay there and think and allow the thoughts to go through my head, is when terrible things would always happen. Or actually, like I said, I'm still here, right? I've said this in other episodes, but distracting the mind is absolutely the thing to do. Now, I'm a little discomfort because sitting is actually uncomfortable for me with what happened with my back.
There's a drug for that.
I thought of, oh man, do I have to go to the hospital because it even hurt to breathe when that happened. But then I gotta go back to something. I'm gonna catch you a little off guard on this one probably, but I'm concerned about going to the hospital for many reasons. COVID,
Yes.
of course. Plus, I could, you walk in, you walk out with a bill that's like, really. How am I? Do I have this bill with insurance? I don't understand this. Nobody did anything. You gave me a muscle relaxer, and now give us $800.
Yeah, that was for the. That was
Really?
For,
That's you want?
yeah.
Why do I feel somebody's ass needs to get kicked? That this is criminal. The other thing that worries me, and I talked about this before about patterns, and that you operate in patterns. And my wife is an unplugger. And I'm going to explain what that means. I don't know. I think I've told you, I've complained to you about these things.
Yeah, she loses everything.
And unplugs things. So, I can't tell you how many times, and she does these in patterns. So you did this for a while, and then you stop doing it, which is great when you stop doing it. Like I'd go in the kitchen, I'd put 2 loaves of bread in the toaster, I push the button down, I'm watching the news waiting for my toast, and then I'm sitting there and I'm going, okay, why isn't the toast done yet? And I go and look, why is it unplugged from the wall? Why is the toaster unplugged? She has the same thing with the coffee. I'd go make coffee. I'm like, I don't smell the coffee because you could always smell it. Yeah. I always smelled, oh man, it smells good. And I'm like, why isn't the coffee brewing? I'd go look. She unplugged the coffee maker. What is going on here? So imagine me in the hospital. I'm laying there and the doctor says, yeah, we're just going to give you a muscle relaxer and let you go. And she's asking them, hey, is there anything we can unplug here?
Oh.
Can we unplug something here? Like Ricky Bobby. I can't stand seeing him. Whatever. He was just taking a nap, and his wife wanted
to pull the plug.
Pull the plug. That's what
I don't want to
worries me.
pull the plug on you.
That's what worries me about you. You're an unplugger.
Yeah, well, whatever.
And
I like
That's-
being unpluggers.
Yeah, well, I just sit there laying in the hospital and doctors telling me, hey, your wife wants us to pull the plug
I'm not going to pull the
in.
plug on you.
Nothing to pull, but I don't know what to
You
tell
probably pull
her.
the plug on me.
No.
Just go to the guy a couple rooms down the hall. He's about to kick the bucket anyway.
I do gotta say, I mean, sometimes, you know, I have caught her with a pillow. I'm like, what are you doing? Oh, I just prop up your neck so you can see the TV better. Really, I was sleeping.
I'm just giving you a good night kiss.
I was asleep. How is that going to help me watch TV? TV's not even on.
Yeah.
I don't know. I got to figure these things out because I'm starting to get terrified. But now the anxiety attacks and panic attacks. So many people go through this, and like I said, how I got my first panic attack was just, I wasn't in a stressful situation. I was in a happy situation. It was my daughter's birthday party. It was a great day. Everything was beautiful, and boom, boom. Which made my depression worse, because here I am dealing with depression, which is enough.
Yeah.
It's enough. Now,
You've got
let's
it.
deal with this too, buddy. Now you deal with this too, where at any time, anywhere, you're holding your chest and sweating and nervous and scared. You're not home. You have a pill you can take. It's going to take about 15 minutes, and you get to the point sometimes of even fearful of leaving the house, getting to that point. So let's throw that on top of depression. So I had to deal with that. I know there are a lot of people with depression that also have to deal with anxiety and panic attacks. It's miserable.
Yeah.
But we can work on that, as I've worked on it. Not taking a pill every time I feel, I gotta take a pill. No, I know it's coming, and this is the thing to experience in anything in life. When you've had them enough times where you know, okay, this is what's coming. I'm not having a heart attack. I know it's not that. I know this isn't going to take my life.
You deal with them well.
I now know, okay, what works for me. But you need to find what works for you. There are too many people that don't look for a solution. They want a quick fix. I want a pill. If they can give me a pill, that'll take care of it, and I don't have to do anything. There's so much of, I don't want to have to do anything. I don't understand this. This is why we're over-medicated. We're over-medicated. I mean, look at my situation. I have medication for anxiety, right? Am I over-medicated? No.
No, you
Because I
control it.
rarely ever take it, because I work on it so I don't have to. So I try to have control of myself and what I'm going through, because
You're aware of it,
if I'm
yeah.
popping a pill, I really don't have control, do I? If every
And it wipes you out.
right.
And the next day you're hungover, you're sluggish, you're tired, you're lethargic. I mean, all of it. All
Can't
the above.
concentrate.
Can't concentrate.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
that's just totally useless.
pretty much.
Yeah.
But if that's what I was doing, for a lot of people I know, that's a solution. That's my solution, is popping a pill every time something, or every day. Just be on a pill every day. And I won't do that. So I'm not over-medicated.
Yeah.
Because if I use that as a crutch, I would be,
A zombie.
and I'd be popping
Every
pills.
day.
Oh, and by the way, they're extremely addictive.
Yeah.
The pill I take, there are celebrities that have been
Yeah.
had to go to rehab for them. They were addicted to them. I'm not. I'm not, because I just, as I said,
Right through.
only as needed. So I can do it. Does that mean you can do it? Yeah. I don't possess any special powers that I can do things that other people can't. Even though that's how I picked you up, right? That wasn't you. I'm sorry. Did I get the names and the dates?
Gosh.
No, actually, you picked me up, didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah. You pursued me.
I pursued you.
I don't know what the hell you were thinking. But yeah, I remember you said to me one time, you don't know what you're missing. Or
I know, I said something.
Something like that.
Yeah, that's funny. It wasn't that, but
Yeah, well, it was my birthday. All the guys took me out.
yeah, I remember.
And,
I was there.
Yeah, I barely was.
Yeah.
I think at that hour.
Yeah.
I was a little kind of bad shape. But so we'll talk about panic attacks again here and there. I don't want to overload you on one subject. It is a big deal. It's huge. It's huge. And if for those of you that feel you have no control over it, again, I'm not someone that's going to tell you, this is what you need to do, this. I tell you what worked for me. And I learned what worked for me in a lot of things because I failed as well. I did things that didn't work for me. And then the things that did work, I got to do that again. Right? Worked, I'm going to do that again. And then it worked again. And it's always worked. Most of the time. Most of the time. And when I say most of the time, I'm talking 90-something% of the time.
Yeah.
I've even had points where I did go to the doctor, I did get a refill, and threw away my medication because it's been sitting around for so long. Because I'd go long stretches where I didn't take any medication.
Yeah.
It's just sitting there, and I'd throw it out and get a new batch just to be safe. And maybe you were popping them behind my back. I
don't think so.
No. Good. And you know,
my earring.
Another thing, folks, if you are you have medications in your house and you have children in your house, please store that safely.
Yeah.
That's another big problem we have, right? It's not just kids. People think, oh, kids are on the street buying drugs from drug dealers. Oh, these drug dealers. Yeah, or your medicine cabinet. Right? Your medicine cabinet's a problem sometimes. So,
Yeah.
I mean, please keep your medications away from your kids and away from others, and make sure your house is safe. We're going to take a little break right now as Shannon is going to probably eat a meal.
Stromboli.
All right, yeah, Stromboli.
That actually does sound pretty good.
You can eat a Stromboli, but I'm not allowed to eat a cannoli. It's just not.
Well, you're the one that's losing weight, and you're doing very good. You're doing well. Very good.
To lose weight every day? I mean.
No, not every day.
All right. All right, well, we'll be back shortly. Again, it'll be a blink of an eye, right? It's our break. You don't need a break. You guys are sitting around having a good time, I hope. But we'll be right back.
We'll be back. We're back.
We are back. Don't even mention the word back.
Oh,
right
yeah.
back is
Sorry about
throbbing.
that.
Throbbing. You see, you can pull the plug on me.
Yeah, I might.
Or bring me that pillow again in my sleep. So I was talking about the panic attacks and what works for me. And like I was talking about distractions, distracting your mind, not focusing on what's going on wrong right now, because then it builds and builds and builds, and now you have a panic attack again. And the medication, I would never discourage anyone from taking medication. I've said this many, many times, and I will always say this.
Yeah.
I have medication, I take medication, but to want to be medicated all the time is a problem. It's a problem in this country and in a lot of countries. But we can get away from a lot of that by working on ourselves, right? By using, I know the analogy, you have your toolbox, right? And you have all the tools in there. And that's a tool for me to deal with panic attacks instead of popping pills.
Yeah.
Popping pills. And we're going to talk about this more, and I have a lot of situations I can tell you about that.
Experiences.
Yeah, but the thing is, I know some people will say, I've been there, done that. And if you could share your stories, things that have worked for you, like I've said before too, It's not just about me that I have the answers for everything. Someone might share something and I might say,
wow,
"Oh,
I didn't think
of that.
Yeah.
I didn't
Very
think
helpful.
of that."
Yeah, sure.
Because what I'm disappointed in, very disappointed, but as I had said before, I don't have a time machine, is how long it took me to actually come to conclusions with certain things.
Yeah.
That I did things that seemed so simple at the time, the results were so positive, and I would ask myself, why did it take so long to think of this? It just seems so simple. And that's why we do this too,
Yeah.
to help people that are just maybe young people starting to deal with anxiety or with depression.
And you'll have a better understanding now.
And know, okay, there are things I can do.
Of course.
And not let a year go by, 2 years go by, or in my case, many years go by.
Yeah.
And get to a point where I have to say, I'm still here, and I shouldn't be. But I'm still here. Never get to that point, hopefully. I don't want this for other people. I know we have a lot of people that say, well, why would I care about other people? I just care about what I'm going through. Well, you know what? By caring about other people, too, it's part of healing yourself, in my opinion. For example, I'm watching the Paralympics. I'm watching these athletes and I'm admiring them. By admiring them, I have good feelings inside of me. I feel good for them. I feel proud of them. I'm amazed by what they do.
Yeah, me too.
And then I blow my back getting out of bed and I feel like a moron.
Well.
I'd be the guy swimming, when they're all finished and they're encouraging me. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. No, I can't, man. Somebody throw me a line. But it's only a sprint. It's 50 meters. I thought it was a marathon. I got to stop 3 or 4 times. Sorry about that. But we were talking about a story. I was talking to at work, what I do, and I was talking to a bank, a rep from a bank, because that's what I do. And I am miserable. I can't sit in my chair. I'm sitting down. I'm standing up. I'm bending over. I'm on my knee. And all of a sudden, this gentleman passes gas. I mean, and it was loud. And I didn't know what to say. I didn't say anything. And he's like, oh, so sorry about that. He's just like, no big deal to him. But you know what? I felt better.
Yeah.
For like 2 minutes because I was laughing.
Yeah.
I was distracted now thinking about this.
It was comical.
This is never happened before. This is actually really funny.
Often, yeah.
I kind of admire the guy too, where he's like, sorry. Sorry. But
I mean, where can you go from that?
Another thing too is when I give advice or stories, it's always with the intention of you thinking. You listening to what I'm saying, giving it thought, saying, okay, yeah, maybe that makes sense, or yeah, or no, that's not for me. But think for yourself. Be that person. For example, like you have someone who's drinking, let's say they're drinking something and it's spoiled, right? And they're like, oh my God, this is terrible, it's spoiled. Oh God, here, try it. And then you have those people that'll go,
oh yeah.
Oh, it is. Oh, you're right, it's horrible. Be that guy or that gal that says, when they say, here, try this, it's terrible. No, I'm good.
Yeah, right?
No, I saw your face, your expression. I don't need to
try it.
Don't need to. So, no, you think, right? Not be that person that, oh yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, you're right.
Always think. We always have to think. And I know somebody out there saying, that's too much trouble. No, it's not. It's your life. You're worth the trouble.
Yeah.
You're worth it. You have to, you're worth it. Shannon, we talked about last week about her talking a little bit about just starting about bullying because it's such a big deal.
Yeah. I'm just going to touch on it, and then we'll dive into it on other episodes. But I'm going to leave you with something to think about, because bullying is absolutely horrible. It's horrid. And it's very dear to me because people commit suicide because of it. And there's no need for it. There is absolutely no need for it. So, and it's not only, you know, in schools, it's in workplaces, it's all over, in organizations, in everything. What is it like? What is the word I'm looking for? Well, it'll come back to me, but it is so detrimental, and it can be prevented or it can be helped by reaching out and asking your kids, hey, you know, how are you doing, you know, and talking about bullying, because it can start in the family, because sometimes children are uncomfortable talking to their parents about it, just like with depression and stuff. They don't maybe know what's going on, you know, why is this happening to me, what is happening to me? And you know, it's sad, and we'll get into that a lot deeper later, but I just want people to think about, or I want you to think, have you ever been bullied? Is your child being bullied? Is your child bullying somebody? And did you bully somebody? Were you an instigator? You know, were you the one that was, we'll just use school for an example. In high school, were you causing, you know, all of these traumatic events that happen to a child or an adult? You know, and think about that. And if you were the bullier, if you were the one doing the bullying, make up for it. Find a way to make up for it. Whether you get more involved in your child's life, or you, whatever the case may be. Because people kill themselves because of it. And it's so unfair. It can be helped. People need to stand up and talk about it. People need to understand it. Why am I being bullied? Why is this child being bullied? Why are they ganging up on that child? Why? Find out. Ask your kid. Your kid may not want to talk about it. You know, they might go in the corner and just be alone, and that's how they deal with it. And then a parent will just say, okay, maybe they're having a bad day, or maybe they don't feel well. But then it continues to happen, or they don't eat. They don't eat at school because somebody took their lunch, or they went out and their tires were slashed. It happens, you know, that happens all the time. Suicide, it can lead to suicide, and I lost 2 friends from it, you know, and I did everything I thought I could possibly do to prevent that from happening, but of course it was out of my control. But at least I know that I did what I felt I needed to do. So I put my 100% effort into it. Cliques are big, you know. If your children are in cliques, get involved and kind of find out who their cliques are, you know. Talk to the principals at school, you know, and get involved with the children, get involved with their lives, and maybe you can help. You can help. It's not maybe, you can help. But I just want to leave, and we'll get into like how to control it and why it's being done and things like that.
And you'll discuss specific.
Of course I will. Specific.
Yeah,
exactly. But just I want to just leave you with this to think about it. You know, is my child being bullied? Is my child bullying somebody? But more importantly, as a parent or as an adult, ask yourself again, as I said just a little bit ago, was I bullied as a kid? And what did I do about it? And what could I have done differently about it? Or was I the one that was doing all of it? Was I the bullier of doing all the bullying? And how do you feel about that? You know, do you wish you could go back in time and take that back? Or are you happy with it? You know, just things like that. You know, because it's a major issue, especially in the schools. But it you know, it's everywhere. So that's really all I just wanted to say right now.
And you know, and sadly too, is There are parents that if their kid is the bullier,
Yeah.
they're okay with that.
That's
My
what I'm
kid's
saying.
tough.
Exactly.
That's showing my kid is tough.
Yeah, well,
you know
they're
what
not.
that's showing? Whether it's a kid or an adult, you can be that person who works in an office, an adult, and your whole thing is putting everybody down
Yeah.
around you because it makes you feel better.
Yeah.
Guess who has the issue? It's you.
Yeah, 100%.
You're the one with the issue. You're the
And
one
that's
that
weak.
needs to get help.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because if you think breaking down other people makes you stronger,
Yeah.
you have a problem. Because obviously you're not strong.
Yeah.
Because you can be strong. You know what strength is to me? This just irritates the crap out of me. I'm sorry, but it irritates the crap out of me. Strength to me is uplifting someone else. You know?
Yeah.
When you could make someone else feel better, you made someone else's day. You made someone smile or laugh or feel comfortable. That's strength. Breaking someone down to make you feel better and stronger about yourself, you're the one with the issue.
Yeah, and then the other thing is with teams and football teams, cheerleading things, cliques, things like that. Get involved because I guarantee you it's happening. And children and their grades can start dropping because of it, or they end up kind of being a recluse or start to, kind of like fade away a little bit, and they're not as active anymore. These are things that are you have to start looking out for them. And again, if you are the bullier, you know exactly what I'm talking about, because you are the cause of it. So you learn.
It's amazing.
And you change, and you help people. You get involved and help people, so you don't see people suffer, because it's not fun.
And not only that, and I have a tweet on Twitter for those that follow us, our real followers that are on. You've seen my tweet.
Yeah.
Where there's this thing too where a lot of people think if you're kind, you're weak.
Yeah.
That kindness is weakness. And I have a tweet where I say that we need to understand that kindness is strength. Because if you can set aside your troubles that you're going through, you have troubles, you have problems, you set them aside, and you're helping someone else with a problem, and you're there for them, even though you have your troubles, you set them aside for now to help someone else. That's kindness. That is not weakness, that is strength. Weakness is, hey, you know what, I got my own problems, I don't care about anybody else. Oh, okay. Selfishness as well.
Yeah.
And you know what's sad about that is that happens in the home.
Yeah.
Not just with a child, a husband bullying the wife.
Oh yeah, there's.
Or a wife bullying the husband.
It's not just in schools. It's not in the work. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. And you're right. It can happen in the home.
It happens in the homes all the time. Siblings, one bullying the other, and then they
100%.
grow up, and the kid feels insecure about him or herself.
And that's what happens. They become insecure.
Or parents not communicating with the kids.
Yeah.
And one song with that, Harry Chapin's "Cats in the Cradle."
Yeah.
So you listen real well to that song, see what happens.
You know what you just said? Parents not communicating with the kids. Okay, these Cooper. Parents not communicating with the kids. This is a true story. When everything I say to you is always true, I'm always honest with you. With my wife, I'm honest half the time. Or am I?
Oh, God.
Give that some thought.
Yeah.
So, her and I go to a restaurant. I'll never forget this. You'll remember when I start telling the story. We go to a restaurant. It's a popular restaurant. It's like a diner. Waitress sits us down, gives us our menus. I think we told her we don't need menus. We know what we're going to get. We ordered. Fine. Family of 4 walks in. Remember this?
Yeah.
Mom and dad. Girl looked maybe 13. The little boy looked maybe 10.
All
Waitress,
the same thing.
Waitress sits them at the table. So we're just sitting there talking, looking at them. As soon as they sat down, they put the menus on the table. Each one of them was on a cell phone.
Yeah. Never looked up.
None of them were talking to each other. This is mom, dad, and the 2 kids. Nobody was talking to each other. The waitress shows up. They weren't ready to order.
Yeah.
They've had the menus, but they were too busy on their phones quietly, not talking to each other. So the parents put the cell phone down and they're looking through the menu and they order. The kids turn to order. The kids didn't put their cell phones down.
Yeah.
And the waitress, you can tell, is just sitting there, standing there, like, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah.
You gotta be kidding. They have to stand here and wait for these kids to finish playing with their cell phones to take their order. And the parents went right back to their phones because they finished ordering. And now the waitress is standing there with her pad, looking at them. I felt like walking over there, grabbing their phones, and just throwing them outside. First place, you don't communicate with each other. You're out to dinner as a family.
Time, yeah.
You're all playing with your phones. You're being disrespectful to the waitress who's trying to take your order.
Yeah.
And then once the kids finally put their phone down and then ordered and then went right back to their phones again. These people sat there. A family of 4 with small children, and no one spoke to each other.
Eating and on the phone.
None of them spoke to each other.
No.
So, is it fair to say there's a lack of communication in many homes? Yeah.
There is
Yeah.
a lot.
That would never happen when we were kids. Well, we didn't have cell phones anyway. We were like the Flintstones, I think.
Yeah.
Well, they actually had phones. I don't know how they worked. They were made out of stone. But anyway, that's here to there. My kids didn't do that. If I was out with my kids, I'd say, okay, put your cell phones down. We're eating now.
Yeah.
And we're out to dinner. We're out at a restaurant. We're going to talk. Hey, how was your day today? What did you guys do when you went? But to see a family of 4 sitting there on their phones, not communicating with one another, just absolutely shows.
Such a detachment.
What about when there are issues in the home with someone, a wife, a husband, one of the kids?
And that kid has been bullied, and who are they going to go to?
I can't go to mom or dad because
No.
they're too busy.
Yeah. Just,
They're too busy.
they're too busy. Not caring.
Yeah.
They're too busy not caring. That's
Yeah,
what it
and
is.
my kids, when they were in school, sometime we would take our kids' friends to the ballpark with us. When I played ball, we'd take them places with us because their parents didn't.
Yeah.
Mom's too busy with her tennis instructor. Dad's traveling.
Yeah.
And the kids, there was one kid, I think that their best friend was their chef. They had a private chef.
Yeah.
That was the kid's basically parent. Because the parents are off doing their own thing. Why do you even have kids? If you're going to do that, don't even have kids.
Yeah.
Just don't even do it. But there's no communication anymore. When we were kids, we sat at the dinner table and ate dinner as a family every day. And we would talk about things.
Without a TV set in the kitchen.
Without a TV
Without
set in the
a TV.
kitchen, exactly.
Yeah,
And
all
we
kinds of
sat,
stuff changed.
and okay, oh, that's old school. Okay, let me tell the new generation something. Our generation's a lot better than you in a lot of things. Your generation is a lot better than us in a lot of things. If we can do this, take the good things from the older generation, the things that needed to go, get rid of those.
Yeah.
Adopt the new things. For example, acceptance of people. The younger generation is more accepting of people than the older generation. People that are set in their ways. They didn't understand things. They didn't have exposure to people. This is something I'm going to talk about too. I owned a bar. I owned a neighborhood bar. And you want to talk about learning people in that bar. We had all kinds of people in that bar. And I'll tell you stories about that. I'll talk about racism. I'll talk about those things. How people that I know are racist, but yet in the bar became friends with people of other colors, people of other sexual orientations. Why? You know why? Because they got to know them. They got to talk to them. They got to realize that, okay, this person's gay and he's having issues at work. He just lost his job. Wow, I went through that 6 months ago. That's miserable. Now they have empathy for that person. Man, I went through that too. That sucks. And they start talking, and you don't see the racism. I'm not saying outside of the bar they're not going to be who they are, but
It was nice.
It's just amazing when people actually have a chance to come together a little bit, get to know each other, and realize, okay, we're very different, but we also share a lot of the same things. Problems, heartache, illness, fears of this, fears of that, same things. And different things, but we do have a lot in common. But if next week maybe you can bring up specific situations that
Of course.
you can talk about.
Anything to help, you know, because it's a devastating.
Yeah, you know, hopefully if you're the bully, you hopefully realize that you're the one with the issue.
Yeah.
If you need to put someone down to raise you, to lift you up, and this isn't kids. These are there are cutthroat businessmen,
Yeah.
successful businessmen. That's their spiel.
Yeah.
Tearing people down, even tearing down their employees.
Yeah.
Bringing their employees down, minimizing them, not uplifting them, making them feel small
Yeah.
and control. That's bullying too.
Yeah.
A husband bullying a wife, you bullying
Or
me.
a child, or in all different forms. It
You
comes
need
in
to
all
stop
different
doing
forms.
that because I'm getting sick of it. Bully me all the time. So we'll talk about bullying again next week, and Shannon will get into a little more detail. We're also going to talk about some depression, a little more stories of things that have happened, things that the results, things I had to do.
Yeah.
And please, you can go on YouTube, watch our video. You can go back and watch the earlier videos from last week, the week before, and the introduction, etc. And at the bottom of the video, there's the link to our website. There's also the link to our Twitter page. So you can follow us on Twitter too, and we have articles about everything
Yeah.
on there. Information about everything, not just depression. It's not just depression. It's about so many things, even pets, recipes, jokes.
Yeah.
Do jokes because we need to laugh.
There's
we need
crossword puzzles on
crossword.
there.
We need to
There's
have
all
some
kinds of
laughs and entertain ourselves.
Sure.
All right, so
Well, yeah.
we will be back next week, and hope you'll join us again. And
Yeah.
if you can give us a like too on Facebook and subscribe, it's free. I mean, I'm not on Facebook. I mean, on YouTube. I apologize.
We are on Facebook.
We are on Facebook as well. But if you can give us a like on YouTube, and if you want to leave a comment as well, that'd be fantastic. And if you want to email us with information, stories, you know, please reach out to us.
Yeah.
So we'll see you next week,
Take care.
and be well, and things will get better. Bye-bye.
Bye.